Hi, in this demo I'll show you how Mayo works, from basic administration settings to your personal GM assistant. AI operating system for your restaurant. It brings all key parts of your business into one place: revenue, procurement, analytics, staff performance, reservations, and daily operations. With Mayo, you can see what's happening in real time and make faster, data-driven decisions. It connects to all the systems you already use, including Blink, MarketMan, Lightspeed, Soupy, Buys, Harry. And if your restaurant does not have a specific system in place yet, we can build a custom in-house solution for you. We start from the dashboard. Here, users can see the key restaurant metrics in one place. It is a customizable workspace, so each role can see the metrics that are most relevant for their responsibilities. Now let's look at budgeting. The restaurant can plan its budget by quarter or month. You can create budget categories and track planned versus actual spending. For example, the food purchasing budget is 485,000 dirhams. 43,000 has already been allocated, which is 9%. Mayo shows the current progress, remaining budget, and category breakdown. Let's go to administration. Here we create roles for everyone, such as head chef, receiving clerk, cost control manager. For each role, we define exact access permissions: PO dashboard, PO reports, sales report, P&L report, and other modules. After creating roles, we move to users. Here we create a new user and enter their full name, email, password, account status, and department. We can also decide whether they should have access to GM Assistant. Then we assign the user to one of the roles created earlier. For example, a head chef will automatically receive the permissions connected to that role. Next, we move to approval settings. This section controls procurement approvals. Here we can create approval flows. For example, orders above £500 may require approval from the cost control manager. Orders above £1,000 may also require approval from the financial manager. We can also decide whether the flow should skip or require final approval before the order is completed. Inside conditions, we define what triggers approval. Approval can be based on par level. If an order exceeds the allowed level, Mayo sends it for approval. It can also depend on goods type. Food goes to the head chef, bar items to the bar manager, and other categories follow their own logic. Approval can also depend on order amount, where larger orders require extra control. We can also set conditions for specific users or departments, routing their orders to a specific approver. If someone orders more than usual because of an event or valid reason, they can leave a note for the manager. Now let's look at GM Assistant. It is a chatbot that gives quick answers based on the restaurant's data. It helps managers access insights, test the data, and make faster decisions. Basically ChatGPT for your restaurant. For example, we can ask, "What was the revenue last week?" It will analyze the available sales and revenue data. We can also ask, "What were the most profitable dishes last week?" The assistant will show which dishes generated the highest profit. Or we can go deeper. Show me the top 5 dishes by profitability for last week. But how many meat vendors do we have? Now let's go to procurement. Here we can create orders, submit them for approval, receive goods, upload invoices, and handle mismatches. These flows follow the approval rules created earlier in the settings. Orders can be created by product or by supplier. Let's try it. First, we select the supplier. Then Mayo shows the products connected to them, including the par levels and requirements. If we want to calculate the quantity automatically, we use fill to par. It uses the restaurant's par level. After that, we create the order and add the delivery date. If the order is higher than usual or needs context, we can add a note for the approver. Now we can review the purchase order by vendor. Mayo keeps an edit history. If a user makes changes, they are stored, so nothing is missed. When everything is ready, we click Submit for approval. If the order matches an approval condition, it goes to the role or person defined in approval settings. If no approval is required, it can be sent directly to the vendor. After the order is created and delivery is expected, it appears in the receiving section. Now we move to receive goods. Mayo lets us upload an invoice or receipt. It extracts the relevant invoice data and compares it with the original order. For example, if we ordered one quantity but received another, Mayo highlights the mismatch. If the received price is different from the original order price, we can decide whether to update it. If there is a discrepancy, we create credit notes. You can document the issue and store it in the system, so the team can track what was received, what was different, and needs correction. After receiving, the stock is updated. Next, we go to final approval. It's used when there is a quantity or price mismatch. For example, if the invoice price differs from the original order, a financial manager can review and approve. The P&L section shows the restaurant's financial reporting. There's no need to wait for hours. Everything is available here. We can see net sales, food costs as a percentage of net sales, gross margin, estimated profit, and EBITDA. In this example, EBITDA and net profit are negative, so the restaurant is currently unprofitable. For example, sales and revenue can come from Blink, inventory and procurement from MarketMan, labor costs from the HR or workforce system, and operating expenses from accounting. Inside each section, we can see how many dishes were sold during the selected period and how much was spent on food cost. We can also see purchase products, labor, and spending by staff category. Operating expenses include rent, utilities, insurance, and other costs, each with its own amount. The EBITDA section shows the key financial metrics. For now, expenses are added manually. For example, we can add labor, enter the amount and description. Let's say we spent 250,000 dirhams on chefs this month. Then we select the expense date and add notes if needed. If it's a recurring payment, such as rent, we enable recurring, so the system adds it automatically. If the restaurant bought a DJ set, we select Other or Utilities, enter DJ set, disable recurring for a one-time purchase, and click Create. We plan to integrate booking platforms like Xero and SAP, so financial data can be added automatically. If we go to budgets, we can set the period, choose the start date, add notes, category, and planned amount. We can add several categories. For example, we select food and enter 200,000. Then we add beverage and 100,000. The system shows that out of the total 300,000 budget, 66% is for food and 33% for beverages. This makes it easy to create a budget and monitor whether the restaurant is exceeding it, helping prevent overspending. Let's move to AI Receptionist. It's an AI agent that answers phone calls with a natural human-like voice. It can handle calls 24/7, make reservations, and automatically add bookings. Bookings can also be created manually. We select the table, enter the number of guests, names, arrival time, and expected duration. The system also shows how many bookings are planned. In the future, the statistics will update automatically and the agent will record call details. You can access the same key features from their phone. First, open the browser, enter the Mayo portal address, and log in. Then tap the three-dot menu, Share, choose Add to Home Screen, and Mayo will appear as an icon. To conclude, Mayo brings everything from procurement to booking into one AI management system. To see how Mayo can fit your restaurant, contact us and we'll walk you through the next steps.